thinking, weak bet, check on the river. Alright, he hasn't got the jacks. That's the way I'm thinking. He hasn't got the flush now, otherwise he'd have bet it. Because if I've represented the jacks by raising him there, he would have bet that. Why would he check me? This is the way I'm thinking. Why would he check me with me the opportunity of checking him back and not getting any money in the pot? So I'm thinking, can't have flush. Can't have the chips. Maybe he's got the 10, and maybe that's what he's been doing. And he's now shitting himself here because of that spade. So, Bob's your uncle. I bang in $11, put them all in. He's only got 10.90 left. I go for the bluff, and obviously, less than 1 second, click, bang, and he goes and he's caught me a cracker. So quality, poor play by myself. Yeah, I agree. I mean, he did sucker me in, and like I said, hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. And like I said, caught me a cracker. Well, suckered in there. So, needless to say, I'll watch out for it in the future when he's doing weak bets like that. Quality. Okay, that was the biggest loss I had. But it still turned out a profitable session. Anyway, next one. This one's a losing hand as well. 10.25. Ace Jack in the big blind. Call, fold, and I decided to raise it up here. Okay, so I've got 2 limpers. Pretty weak. Got a 150 raise by myself. Fold. And a flat call from the button. Now this guy's got 63, has 28% call rate, 11% raise rate. So he's pretty tight. So that was quite interesting. I thought I'd be able to take that pot down with that raise, and I didn't. So obviously he's got some sort of small pair, you would expect. Anyway, flop comes down, 9, 6, queen. Looks pretty harmless. And I bang in a 250 bet into a 335. It's Teo again. Teo comes and flat calls me. 8 comes down. As you can see now, potentially I've got 7 outs. 4 for the straight, 3 for the overpair. So 7 outs. $8 in the pot. 8, 9, 6. Is there a possible straight sitting out there? Has he got the queen? Good question. So $8. Info bet 50%. That's an info bet, blocking bet again, to find out where I am. Now, Teo, watch what he does. Bang. Does an 8, so he doubles my bet there. Alright, that's a strong move, okay? So, based on that, based on the way this guy's been playing, I'm thinking he's definitely hit something here. So, took my time, hit the time clock again, looked at this hand and thought, right, I got 7 outs. Okay, pot odds of 5.1. I need 5.6 if I've got 7 outs, which is a straight and 3 for the overpair. Well, I discounted the overpair because based on that play there, I don't think the overpair is good enough. So looking at that, what have I got? Best hope. Well, if he's got 10 jack, okay, then he's got one of my outs, and at best I'm going to be drawing with him. So I think I'm totally hosed here. And it's just not worth paying for this. So I put him on 10 jack here, and he's limped in with 10 jack. He's got the straight. Screw this, and I bail. And just playing it safe. It just wasn't worth it. Even though the pot odds suggested I could have a wee bash at it, I decided to bail there, whilst it didn't cost me too much money. Okay, moving on. 10.25, and here we go. Bear and a pair of 2s, $61. You can see I'm doing quite well. Fold, 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 fold. I'm in the small blind, raise him up, pair of 2s, 75. Obviously I can't see he's got a pair of 5s. Flat calls me. And look at that. What a nightmare. I've just hit trips, okay, and my opponent has just hit trip 5s. I got trip 2s, he's got trip 5s. I mean, that's a stacking situation, isn't it? However, because he's called me, alright, I am worried with those 2 hearts on the table. Alright, now the last thing I want to do is lose, whatever he's got in his stack there, which is $27, to some guy shitting all over me with a flush. So it's 150 in the pot. It's not expensive at the moment, so bear to play. Put in $1 into that pot. Could have put 150, $1. it makes no difference at this. The stakes are so small at this level. $1 is where I am. Flat calls me. Okay. Now I'm quite surprised with that, with the 2 hearts on the table. In hindsight, really, a little raise back from him would have been very interesting. I would have definitely called it if he'd put $3 into that. I'd have definitely called him. So, quite surprised he did that. But there again, he probably thinks he's miles ahead here, so he's going to let me lead out and try and milk me for every penny. That's probably his thought pattern. And there you go, Ace of Hearts. Now that, obviously, when I looked at that and he called my raise and he's called my standard continuation bet there, I'm thinking, horrible board now. Okay, so unless that board pays for me, I'm not interested. Okay, well, I am interested, but you know what I mean, I'm playing it very cautious. 350 in the pot, I bang in 2 bucks again. I'm trying to keep it small, don't want to get myself stuffed here, and my opponent raises me. Now he only raises me $4 there, right? So that's just teasing me. Now, pot odds wise, all right, for me to hit quads or to get the full house is 10 outs. It's 3.6 to 1. There's 4.8 in the pot there. So with only $2 to go, that's a simple call. But that shows strength to me, and I am now very concerned if I don't pair. Now, if I pair, obviously I'm screwed because he's got trip 5s. So I'm just trying to play this nice and safe. So I just flat call him, and a 10 comes on there. All right. So I've got trip 2s. My opponent's got trip 5s. Let's see what happens. All right. Well, I'm now very worried because this opponent here, I've got 100 hands on him. He's raised only 7%, and he's caught 15. Okay. He's very tight. This guy wouldn't make those moves or that bet unless he's got something pretty good. So I'm now very concerned with my opponent, so I check him. Sensible move. Okay, if he comes back with a $10 bet here, I'm out of there. I would not have called that. And really surprisingly, my opponent checked me. He checked me back. He didn't put a value bet in there. Obviously, he's shit scared because obviously I've been playing well and I got a decent stack. He's shit scared that I've got the flush as well. So he checked me back, and lo and behold, I got away from a potential nasty hand. Alright, I could have lost my whole shebang on that, another $20 easily if I hadn't have played that carefully and cautiously. And again, that's a good thing about dangerous flops when you think you've got a good hand. So, if you're in a position where your opponent's still coming after you, you want to try and keep that pot small. Anyway, there you go. Got away from that one quite nicely. I was well pleased with that. Okay, here we go, 10-25, and here we go. Ace King for bear, beautiful. Raise. And I re-raise. This is from Crazy Tilt, and I re-raise him here, okay, with Ace King. Fold, 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 and look at that, guys. An all in from one of the blinds. Now I've got a raise, re-raise, and an all in. Alright, now, I said to myself when I started this session, I wasn't going to play any maniac stuff. I wasn't going to take people on. If I can get away from dangerous situations without getting stacked, that's the way to play it at these low stakes, because some of these guys will just hump it in and screw you. Now, I've got 2 options here. Fold, or I take a massive gamble and go all in after him. Now, the stats on this guy's are 30 hands so far at this table. He's called it 9%. That's all. Now at these stakes, that's very, very tight, okay? And his raise rate is 9%. Now he's just gone all in to a raise and a re-raise. So if he hasn't got aces or kings, then I'll be well surprised. So it's myself to play here, and in my opinion, this I deliberated a wee while on it, and I thought, no, screw this. I'm not playing silly buggers. I'm losing 375 on this. Have it. All right, I'm just not pissing around. Very tight player. When he goes all in, just back off, find another opportunity, and I was pleased with that. I just walked away, which was good. Okay, cool. Alright, last 2 hands, guys. These were from another session, 2 sessions which were actually winning sessions, and it took 1 very unlucky, bad beat in both sessions to turn them into slightly losing sessions, which was really annoying actually. But it does happen. So this is just a reality check for everybody, because even in low stakes, you're going to take a big bad hit, and that's why your approach to the low